The final home game of any college football season is cause for celebration. Senior Day, a perfect way to celebrate and remember all of the accomplishments of this group of leaders. Welcome to Sooner Nation in Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Ole Miss Rebels, taking on a fellow SEC opponent, the Oklahoma Sooners. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. The Sooners will boot it away to start the game. Fielded in the end zone. It's Tees. He gets it across the 25 to the 27 after bringing it out of the end zone. Defense might bring the house here. Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw, it's Lindsey. Swings it out to his running back. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. The Rebels racing to the line in the hurry-up. Second down, he'll throw it. Floats it out in space. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't get any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play.
Looking to take a shot. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's fourth down.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
The one thing that can derail this offense, a bunch of 3-and-outs. They won't do that here, but they might go 4-and-out if they don't convert. On fourth down, going to the air. Fires to the middle. This time he's got his man. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down?
That tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. Fourth down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
And the Rebels are flying down the field.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, create.
Oh, he's got some space. Touchdown, Rebels! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. Let me tell you, that opening script was a masterpiece. Send that baby to Hollywood, and it's a blockbuster.
I think so, and A-listers all over the field for this offense. You saw some of the playmakers they've got and the speed. Great job going out and executing on that opening drive.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Stoneburner. He gets it out to the 32 and sets him up with a little better field position. Might be changing the route. Looking downfield on first down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
To the air on second down. Throws for the tight end. Picked off again. He's now thrown 20 interceptions.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with his 7-0 lead. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The Rebels want to crank the tempo. They go to the ground. Turning it on. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
Just outside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 21. Motion from the wide receiver. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He's in open space downfield. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Coming to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down. Got it, looking for a first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. And the Rebels have it with a 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Lindsey. He's got it on the run. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. Touchdown, Ole Miss! Made the grab and took it on in for the score. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I'll tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target and make the big play, get the touchdown.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice game. There's always been a lot of flash and sizzle to the Oklahoma offense, but it's built on being tough.
Yeah, and especially the great teams. The great teams that you think about in Oklahoma past, the ones that were in the national championship or in the playoff, those are teams that could run the football, be physical.
And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. That football must be riveted to your rib cage. How can you let it go? At least they fell on it. The Sooners now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Off the play fake. Looking for space to the left. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Well, I think you're seeing a lot of resiliency from this quarterback these last couple of plays. Got sacked on first down. It's 2nd in California. And that last scramble, I know it didn't get the first, but it at least makes this 3rd down a whole lot more manageable now. Let's see if he can make a play here and keep his offense on the field.
That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45.
Offenses, when they run these RPOs, they just want to be comfortable. The quarterback wants to make the read very easy, very clean. It's your job as a defense, kind of create some confusion, speed up that.
Breaks into the open. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11. We've come to the end of the period, and Ole Miss is on top. They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. So after the break, they'll go back to work.
Here we go. To the line.
Motion from the back. Looking to throw on first down. He makes a grab. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be second and inches coming up.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Out of the gun, the inside give. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Oklahoma! After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into them.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Oregon has the lead right now in Eugene, but that typically dynamic offense just hasn't been able to pull away. They're up by 11 over BYU. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, we'll see it right here.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. They've come out smoking with touchdowns on each of their first two drives, and they're back to work now. Got it in the middle. It's Alexander. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. The Rebels in the hurry-up. Back to throw. It's Lindsey. Got his man on the outside. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get him to the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football, trying to get that elusive guy on the ground.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They've already converted a fourth down in this game. They'll try to make it 2 for 2. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Finds him out of the backfield. And they wrap him up, but not before he gets enough on the catch for the first down. And the Rebels come to the line with a new set of downs. Pocket breaking down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, and you don't see that often, right? This guy is elite. He's one of the best in the business. This is what he does for a living, obviously. That's why he gets paid millions of dollars. Yes, NIL is real. So I don't expect many misses from this guy like that.
Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. Tackled at the 43 after picking up 10.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
And an absolutely fearless tackle, giving up size, still got him on the turf.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
Second down coming up. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to throw. It's Lindsey. He's got the tight end. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run. This guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
The Rebels line up trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Just keep slinging it. Finds his big tight end. Really nice job to convert that 3rd down, and they've got it at the 33. And the Rebels headed quickly to the line.
And it's on 3rd downs like this, if you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
All the way down at the 33-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They'll move the tight end. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Quick screen to the speedster out wide. And that is a nifty bit of navigation to get through that traffic and get the 1st down.
It is so good for an offense early in the game to get in a rhythm and to start stringing 1st downs together. It makes the game really easy and puts that defense in a situation where they're starting to get tired. They want to...
And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels!
Love the thought process by the quarterback here on this play. Nobody open in the end zone. Find your check down. Find the running back. He does that, and once this guy's got the ball in his hands, he shows you that elusiveness and his ability to sniff out the end zone.
And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he's going to bring this one out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. He'll do it himself. Got a little space. They needed to find enough space and get it moving forward, and they're up to the 22.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the 1st down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
Stopped at about the 25-yard line, but it'll be a 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. And the timing just a hair off.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now, why they're trailing on the scoreboard, is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
And back to the air on 2nd down. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
He can't quite get there on the scramble. Dangerous with his feet, but this defense rises to the occasion and forces a 4th down. Trying to keep this drive alive. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Man, 1st half being that aggressive on your side of the field, that's a different world. Like, you live in the analytics world, and I know people say go for it more often. I don't see the point in going for it on that one early in the game in that situation.
Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. To the air, it's Lindsey. They're working that left side. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Ole Miss. And they take it in for 6 more points. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance.
And how about that? His 2nd receiving touchdown of the ball game. Find ways to get your athletes the ball. They'll do the rest. That's number 2. They better start playing some better defense, or number 3 is coming soon.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Throws to the wideout. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum.
Well, that's a huge moment here in the game at the end of the first half because the offense is trying to march down the field. They're trying to cut into the opponent's lead. But with that interception and with that return, the defense now, they've put their team in an opportunity to pad their lead with more points here at the end of the first half.
So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Starts a drive, trying to go up top. Snagged in the middle. It's Alexander. Now the connection takes it to the 11. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
He's got it and still on his feet. He's run out of bounds, but they've got it now, first and goal.
Out routes are very much about timing. It's got to be a quick, decisive movement from the quarterback. As soon as he sticks that foot in the ground, you know he's breaking out. Throw it right now so he can go make you a play. Great pitch, great catch.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll use the running game on first and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Rebels!
And we are officially in blowout mode. This offense has been up and down the field. We've seen so many explosive plays, and they score again before going in at halftime, guys. I'm hoping we can have a running clock here in the second half.
35, Oklahoma.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Seconds of the first half. Let's see if they can pull off a little magic. They'll leave it with him. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Rebels will kick it off to start the second half. And he's not going to take the touchback. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. It again, and here comes the offense. Got blown out in the first half and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the third quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. You just need one thing to go right for this offense to start to build that momentum, and then that becomes infectious for the defense, for special teams. Everything can change. It just takes one play.
It really can, and it's so strange, and you can't quantify it, and I don't know how to describe it as a coach or as a player, but you got to make something happen, and it's got to start on this drive.
Well, you just get the feeling, too, that if they're going to claw their way back in this game, his legs are going to have to be a factor. What a great job scrambling that time. Nothing open. He didn't panic. He saw some green grass. He was able to get outside, away from the defense, get upfield, pick up the first down. That play is going to help their momentum. They need more scramble plays like that from him.
And the Sooners will snap it on 1st and 10. The give to the back. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Back to pass. Here comes the heat. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. He breaks a tackle.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
Looking to throw for it. Quickly to the tight end. They'll pick up enough yardage for the first down. They've got it at the 30. The Sooners want to pick up the tempo.
Obviously, great job picking up the first down there through the air, but you're trailing by a lot of points now, and you're in that area of the field where you should take a shot. If I was the offensive coordinator, I'd be thinking about throwing this next one into the end zone and trying to cut into the lead.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Oh, he drops it. That is a catch he makes 99 times out of 100, but it'll be third down.
Hopefully that's not going to affect the quarterback's confidence going back to this guy later. That was a catch he should have made. He dropped it. Let's see what the QB does moving forward.
Here's a heat. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming.
All right, you've dug yourself a little bit of a hole offensively. You know you're going to have to throw it here in the second half. You're going to have to make sure, though, you do a better job up front with your pass pro. You got to keep your quarterback standing upright.
On fourth down, looking to pass. He's got it in more than enough for a first down. Touchdown Sooners! All that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
And that's why this running back is so dangerous. It's not just handing him off the football, but he's a weapon in the passing game. You see his ability to catch it, turn upfield, make people miss, and find the end zone.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point is good. They still trail 35-14. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Oregon has opened up a can right now, and based on what we've seen, I'm not sure anything is going to change. They're up by 15 over BYU. That's where things stand right now, and of course, if the script is flipped,
He's on the loose. And there he goes. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. He is a field-flipping machine. Take it on one end, return it to the other.
And now you get to celebrate. What a beautiful job. We always talk about defense. We always talk about offense. But, man, when your special teams come through for you and score, it is huge, and it provides such a boost for the crowd.
And right down the middle. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Now the Oklahoma offense will go back to work. They haven't had a whole lot of production, nor much to show for it on the scoreboard so far, and if they're going to get... And it's picked off for the third time today.
The first down pass intercepted by Ole Miss. And they'll take over.
And this guy's showing off his hands again, understanding where the football's going. He breaks on the football so quick. And guess what? He makes plays when he breaks on it. That's 2 interceptions here through 3 quarters of a football game.
And let's see what kind of ball plays this offense has ready. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll send the back in motion. The give out of the gun.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
And the Rebels will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to pound their way in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They think there's room to run to the right here. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line.
Man, is it nice to be able to hand the football to a guy that can break tackles, that can make something out of nothing. Just, it makes it so much easier on offense. You can hit that big play, the big home run. Just the ability to break tackles can make a back really special.
Well, give the defense credit on that one because they knew coming into this one that they were going to try to get this receiver the ball in a variety of ways. They were ready for the screen there, and they create a negative play.
This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. Grabbed in the middle, it's Washington. And he gets it done on 3rd down. They move the chains, and they'll mark it at the 44.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long.
Come on, set.
Making side adjustments here. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose, and I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, and really, really be physical, because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and pop out.
Well, I think on that play you saw why this guy's such a big weapon in this offense. At receiver, he does such a nice job with his routes. He's patient, and he's consistent, and he's got good hands. You don't see him put a lot of balls on the ground. Nice job there picking up the 1st down.
The Sooners want to move quickly. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Looking to the big tight end. Touchdown, Oklahoma! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Field shrinks, tight end grows. Big targets, big results.
I've never heard it put that way, but you're dang right. That guy is so big. A lot of times you get a DB matched up on him. He can just post him up. A linebacker, he can run by him. So that's why these tight ends are so dangerous down here in this red zone.
After that score, they'll try to build some momentum here in the 3rd quarter and get it back with an onside kick. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. Leaves it with the back. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this 3rd period. We've come to the end of the period, and Ole Miss is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the 1st down line?
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
That'll be enough for the 1st down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line. The Rebels come to the line with a fresh set of downs. We'll give them a couple on that with 2nd and 8 coming up.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
There he goes. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a first down in the red zone at the 14. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they have this game in hand right now, but we'll see just how aggressive they want to be on offense. From the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Gets the back moving. Back to pass, it's Lindsey. Gets it out quickly. Headed to the end zone. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. It's really not hard to find the difference between this game and the loss last week. Turned it over 3 times a week ago, none today. And they're going to score again, yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fired that thing out in a heartbeat, but it's incomplete.
And these defenses put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game today.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Running into the open space.
And I think this offense is all but surrendered, right? Like, they're down so much. They need to be throwing the football if they want to score a bunch of points to get back in this game. But they got to find something moving forward, man. This was a rough day. This was not a great offensive performance. They got to bounce back. The next opportunity, the next moment. Because today, it was not a good day.
To the air on 1st down. Using his feet to buy time. And it's picked off for the 4th time today. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them. And the quarterback's just going to take a knee. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. They'll go to the ground. And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Looking to convert, they'll go to the Wildcat. On the direct snap, it's Keys. Grabbed near the sticks, it's Lindsey. He's got enough for the 1st down, and that ought to be enough to put them in victory formation for the rest of this one. And that comfortable lead they enjoy right now is not slowing down the aggression, not one bit.
Well, I think at this point the coaching staff is just trying to continue evaluating their own.
He's going for the goal line. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
and they just keep piling on the points. We've seen in big moments in this game, they have been able to step up and deliver, particularly on offense. Very impressive performance.
And the point after is good. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. He's taking a deep shot. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. And after this play, the cake will be baked. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. And on that short gain, that will bring us to the end of this game. Well, this one had all the suspense of a bug hurtling his way toward a windshield, and they did splatter them. An absolutely dominating performance.
Got to give the coaching staff a ton of credit. They obviously had their guys ready to play and motivated right from the opening kick. All 3 phases we saw, just spectacular football. No mental mistakes, David. You really can't play better than that.
Nah, it's